And welcome back to Johnny's Ice House here in downtown Chicago, just blocks away from the United Center. I'm Garrett Drake alongside Andrew Gus, and Indiana jumping out to a 1-0 lead in the first thanks to Tommy McDonald. But they've still got some work to do with 3 minutes and 50 seconds left on the major penalty assessed to Emiliano Arana. And it looks like Jack Kissel is in the box for Indiana now. I'm trying to see if I can spot Arana on the bench. He might be done.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, with the spearing, it's 5 in a game, so I'm pretty sure that he is gone for the rest of the game, and Kissel's going to serve that last 3 minutes and 50 seconds.
Because he didn't get sent off right away.
No,
he was in the box during the first.
He came out before the second period, and he took a lap over the bench, and I think the referees sent him back off to the showers.
Andrew Chambers will take the draw for Indiana, and DePaul controls the opening faceoff on the power play. Working his way up the ice right there was Helf. Ray Myers slaps it into the neutral zone, and Indiana works the other way. Now Myers chases that puck down behind Billis. Slaps at it, and Simoneau clears. Indiana's going to need a few more of those. 3 minutes and 20 seconds still on the power play.
And Simoneau, as you just mentioned, a great first period. Did a great job forechecking. He had 4 hits himself in the offensive zone and really starting to get some momentum for this team.
Now a slap shot sent on that goes over the crossbar. That was off the stick of Lee. And Indiana again able to clear. Now working back the other way, Lee has that one intercepted by Offenbach, and he'll backhand that one in back into the DePaul zone. So far, the Indiana penalty kill has been pretty solid, fighting off this major penalty. Lee puts on the brakes. Being harassed by Chambers. He goes all the way to the other side now, looking for a passing lane. Then he gets checked to the ground by Hawkins, and he comes away with the puck. Jack Hawkins with a nice defensive play there. And chasing after it is Michele. He's going to get in here. He lets one go, and it's right into the chest of Grisbeck.
Now just 2:04, almost a regular penalty kill here for the Hoosiers to kill off and get themselves back to 5-on-5 even strength. Great job by Hawkins there, stepping up, making the hit. I mean, sometimes you're a little hesitant to be as physical when you're killing off a penalty, but Lee was just holding the puck there. He decided to put him right in the boards and separated the man from the puck.
And that play is going to be whistled offsides. 18:07 remaining in the second period, just under 2 minutes in. And now we'll go to the neutral zone for the faceoff. It'll be Offenbach taking the draw for Indiana, going against Presta. And DePaul gains the zone. Kicker presses Manarino up against the boards, and coming out with the puck and standing behind the net now is Presta. From point. Ash back over to Manarino. 1:35 remaining on the penalty. And again, Simoneau able to clear that one all the way down, as Grisbeck is going to have to leave it off for a teammate. Now swooping through the zone is Plotke. Billis will cover that one as Plotke came charging in. And DePaul really hasn't been able to generate anything in the past 5 minutes here.
You're right about that, but still, minute 13, a man advantage. You gotta look out, especially seeing number 72 in black tonight. Billy Passion, again, as you said last night, so many points, and he's been everywhere with the puck, so watch out for him.
Lee sends that one on and nearly got deflected. A nice attempt there made by Leptic, but it goes wide. And now they lose the zone. Michele in pursuit. Leptic backhands that one, and now Ash plays it over. Puck dribbles all the way down to the other end, and now there's just 40 seconds remaining till we're back to even strength. After 10 DePaul goals yesterday, I don't think anybody would have expected them to be scoreless at this point in the game, but Sammy Billis has put together a terrific performance. Almost caught him with the announcer's jinx there. Passion let the one-timer go from the near dot, and Billis didn't make me eat my words there, Goose. I was about to be worried.
Yeah, quite a rip there, top right. Luckily, Billis has got those cat-like reflexes and just flashed the leather there.
But now the announcer's jinx is over because he did make a save right after, so I'm off the schneid here. I just gotta be careful not to say anything else. Helf sends one on. Billis blocks that one away as he drops to his knees, and the puck is cleared by Simoneau as he heads to the bench. Now Lee behind the net. Kissel ready to pounce out of the box, and he does. Indiana kills off the major penalty. Now it's a 4-on-2 the other way as that puck is knocked away and Hawkins comes away. He rings that one off the glass. Lee kicks it to himself. And now at the other end, it's taken by Helf. He gets taken down by Kissel, and he's going to go right back to the box. Jack Kissel got caught with his hand in the cookie jar, and he'll go back where he just was.
This one actually called on him.
A little over 4 minutes into this period. So far, Indiana has continued to control the tempo despite being shorthanded.
Oh, we've been even strength for what, 12 seconds?
Yeah, not very long at all. But the Killers have been doing their job. DePaul wins the draw. Plotke near the point, sends one on that gets deflected out in front. And Billis is able to cover. It looks like that might have hit the skate of Ray Myers, but it went right into the pad of number 30. Indiana has yet to win a faceoff this period, so the discrepancy is starting to shift in favor of DePaul a little bit. And a nice poke by Simoneau, but the puck gets dragged back in by Ash. Now right in front of the net, Billis able to block that one, and he made a couple saves as the puck squirts out to the far side. Ash rings it off the boards. Myers presses his man up to the glass. Now Ash sends one on, blocked by Billis. And Myers, I think Myers hurt his hand. He only has one on his stick, and he's been shaking that other wrist as he couldn't hit the puck there. He wraps his man up there and takes him to the ground. No penalty on the play. And now out front, the net comes off. Fortunately for Indiana, and Myers is going to head to the bench. He has been moving that right arm very gingerly, so hopefully it's nothing too serious and he can shake it off. Indiana with 1 minute and 9 seconds left, being shorthanded. Brandenburg gets pressed up against the glass. Now the puck squirts out and it's cleared by Simoneau, and he's able to get the zone. Maloney leaves it off behind for Helf. Helf swooping in, goes behind the net, wraparound attempt is still loose out front. Now behind, it's centered and cleared by Hawkins. A couple golden opportunities for DePaul right there, and Brandenburg able to clear it. We've seen a few key plays on this penalty kill. And Indiana just 22 seconds away from another successful attempt. Offenbach sends that one all the way back down, and that'll pretty much do it. Just 10 seconds remaining on the penalty. Lee works his way up. Now finds Timmons. Timmons sends that one all the way down. Michelli was camping out near the blue line on the other end, and he's chasing after it. Maloney over to Presta, and that puck flies high into the DePaul bench. 13:37 to go. Indiana has yet to register a shot on goal this period. They have been shorthanded the whole time. DePaul with 8 up to this point, and the hits favor the Hoosiers 2-1. This matchup so far has been a lot more even than the one we saw yesterday. And it's pretty evident adjustments have been made on both sides. Kissel lays a hit as that puck goes behind for Presta. Centering pass and a save by Billis from point blank range. Theodosopoulos got a couple whacks at it.
And man, 30 and Cream and Crimson tonight, putting on a performance. I'm really surprised at that one. That was a great save by there. Sammy Billis, standing tall per usual.
Little under 7 minutes have been played in the second. Indiana still leading 1-0. Tommy McDonald with the goal in the first. Goodfellow backhands that one out, and it's taken by DiLorenzo. He finds Castracani. He's got McDonald to his left. Castracani shoots, and it's saved. A rebound. Oh, my goodness. Another save made by Grisbeck. And now coming back the other way, here comes Plotkin. Theodosopoulos had the puck get out of reach, and he takes a check from Goodfellow. Now a centering pass missed Theodosopoulos once again. DePaul with a couple opportunities after a threatening Hoosier rush. Theodosopoulos back to the point. A shot sent on that goes over the crossbar. That was off the stick of Solod. They get pressed up into the corner, and McDonald comes out with the puck. Tommy gains the zone, swoops in, leaves it behind, but nobody was there, so Hawkins and Myers will try to avoid this rush. Ray Myers back on the ice. Solod loses possession, and McDonald again comes away with it. Chambers finds DiLorenzo. He gains the zone. D'Lo puts on the brakes and then takes a hit. Hawkins gets the puck and finds Semino, who gains his own. Chambers was chasing the rebound, but it was backhanded out of there. 11:42 to go in the second. Hawkins sends that one in, and Indiana just trying to get back and reset their defense. Cohen tried to drag around Hawkins, but the puck eluded him. And now Semino racing up the other way. He's got Michelli with him. Puck deflected off Michelli's skate and squirts away to center ice, where it's taken and flipped up. Indiana holds the zone. Plotke tried to find Manarino, who had 3 goals yesterday, leaking out. And again, Manarino with the puck now. Nearing the halfway point of the second. Still no goals in the frame. DiLorenzo drags around a man. He's got Gustafson with him for the backhand, and it goes wide, and the net came out of its boring, so we're going to get a whistle with 10:43 to go. A dangerous opportunity right there from Gustafson.
And very lucky there for DePaul, having that net come right off the pegs. Great opportunity there. DiLorenzo snuck past the defender with a little mohawk edge work there, and a nice centering pass. Just could not connect with Gustafson soon enough to find the back of the cage.
Indiana able to control the face-off momentarily as Gustafson chased after it, and now it's chased down by Timmons. Manarino takes a check, gets around Brandenburg, and the puck goes high into the air, gloved down by Gustafson. Helf, toe drags in. Manarino with the puck now. Billis pokes at it, and they get a whistle. And then Manarino Looked like he shoved the net off there. I don't know what that was about. He's not happy with something. 10:19 to go.
Yeah, not really sure what that was all about, but
there was lots of traffic around Billis there. But Sammy Billis has looked as dialed in as we've seen him in quite some time here today. The entire team definitely was not satisfied with the performance they put forward yesterday, but especially Sammy Billis, and you got to think that he wants to really right the ship today. Hawkins backhands that one. And Jeremy chases it down. Now DiLorenzo swooping into the zone. Backhands one in off the glass, and he'll chase after. 10 minutes remaining in the second. We're halfway through. That puck bounces off the boards in the neutral zone and goes all the way behind the net. Hawkins sends Manarino into the glass, and Plotke from the point. Here's a shot sent on, deflected out front, and it goes wide. That was off the stick of Brass Penix right there. And DiLorenzo intercepts that cross-ice pass, looking for Plotke. He drags into the zone, and then he and Gustafson will head to the bench. Indiana getting a change.
Nice big hit by Luke Slavin there.
Now working his way up, Plotke. There was a storm of red sweaters around him, coming out with the puck and centering it, and there was no signal yet. They score.
The referees are going to discuss this for sure.
I never saw a call of a goal on the ice. DePaul is celebrating. And it looks like they're talking to Ash, and this might not count.
And I'm thinking it's not going to right now at initial glance.
I just don't see how it would take them this long, and then they would call it a goal.
And from our angle up here, I saw the puck sitting between Billis's legs, so I never saw it actually cross the goal line.
Billis got pushed into the net, and now they go over to the table.
And that's definitely going to be a sign for no goal. Obviously, the initial call was not a goal and then declined. It was that they called no goal and would have to overturn that.
Since they're talking to Dan Wood, you know that they're about to wave it off, and he is not happy. So Indiana dodges a bullet there.
And you might even say not wave it off at all, because I don't even think
there
I
was
saw the arm of
there was no goal call.
Or whistle. I don't think I heard that. So it's kind of just everyone stopped in their tracks.
.8:58 to go in period number 2. We have a bit of drama brewing at Johnny's Ice House as the puck was stuck in between the legs of Billis, and it looked like Sammy might have gotten shoved into the net. The net comes off, but nobody really knew where the puck was.
Shots so far this period, 12-2. DePaul leads in the hit categories. The Hoosiers up 6-5, and the Hoosiers so far have not won a single face-off yet. We'll see if that changes here.
DePaul able to control. That backhander goes all the way to the near corner. Offenbach in pursuit. He finds O'Flaherty. Slavin gains the zone. Centers for O'Flaherty, but it was just out of his reach. Slavin sends that one down, blocked away by Grisbeck. Now Slavin gets cornered. Offenbach poked at it. Coming the other way is Newton. Newton whiffs on that one, and Offenbach will just flip it into the neutral zone, forcing DePaul to retreat. Goodfellow finds Slavin. Now Leptic. 8 minutes remaining in the second here. 1-0 Indiana after a bit of drama. McDonald loses his stick, and this is going to be a penalty against DePaul. So Indiana getting another opportunity on the power play. It's going to go against Maloney.
You're going to hope they capitalize here. Just does not seem like a bounce or a single ounce of momentum can go in favor of DePaul right now. But so far for the Hoosiers, now would be a great time to capitalize and make that one goal, maybe two or more.
Jeremy wins the faceoff. First one of the period for Indiana here. Jeremy gets in, shoots one that gets blocked out in front. A nice play made right there by Brass Penix.
Josh Maloney, 2 minutes for slashing at 7:51.
McDonald, cross ice pass for Jeremy, but it bounces into center ice, taken by Hawkins.
2 minutes for slashing at 7:51 in the second period of play.
Jeremy rings that one all the way around, taken by Hawkins at the blue line. He does a bank pass back to Jeremy. Jeremy shoots one blocked up high. That one hit the chest of Grisbeck. Centering pass, Michelli loses his footing. And again, Hawkins goes back to get the puck. Indiana was still with a minute on the man advantage here. .6:45 remaining in the period. Puck cleared all the way down. Brandenburg will go get it. Brandenburg over to DiLorenzo as he goes across the ice. They hold the zone. DiLorenzo centers one, now behind the net. Gustafson centering. Slavin took a whack at it, but it was saved by Grisbeck. Slavin gets the puck back. He tried to elevate that one, but it was poked away. Looked like he was going for the over-the-shoulder shot there as Grisbeck was down on all fours. Gustafson shoots one. It's still loose, and Castracani gets pushed out of there as Grisbeck lays on it.
And that one looked loose to me as well.
Early whistles, we've seen them.
Yeah, we have seen that quite a lot this weekend.
And the clock stops with exactly 6 minutes remaining in the period. 9 seconds left on the power play for Indiana. And the lead is still 1-0. Hawkins banks that one off the boards. O'Flaherty gets it behind the net. Now they get tangled up. Slavin with the puck now. The penalty is over. Slavin centers. Grisbeck had that one poked out of there. A nice defensive play made. Looked like that was Maloney in there. Solad loses that one. Now O'Flaherty kicks it into the zone. Gets a stick lift off. 5:17 to go in the period. Offenbach looking for options. He went to the backhand, but it was knocked away. And now, moving up the ice, a shot sent on by Newton, blocked away by Billis. Slavin has Jeremy with him, and he works his way in. Slavin swoops in, and he scores! Luke Slavin dragged it to the backhand, went back to the forehand, and he puts Indiana up 2.
Quite a tuck there from 1-8 in red.
Luke Slavin picks up goal number 3 on the season, and it couldn't have come at a better time for Indiana. They have their biggest lead of the weekend so far at 2-0. And that's just such a backbreaker for DePaul. After they think they score at the other end, Slavin comes down and extends the lead. And I know people say you got to forget about things as soon as they happen, but you got to think these Blue Demon skaters are going to be thinking about that. Now leaking out, here comes Jeremy. A save made. Grisbeck made a couple attempts at it. Jeremy had a breakaway, and now DiLorenzo gets tangled up with somebody in the crease. Kicker sends one on that goes wide. Chaos ensuing here, and there's a big hit on Jeremy.
This game just got a lot more intense.
No penalties on the play as the refs let him go. 4:05 remaining. Gustafson wins possession. Now Goodfellow from the point. DiLorenzo gets pushed down to all fours, and DePaul finally able to get the puck out. And that one goes flying out of play. Goose, I was asking you before, things really escalated there for that pass sequence. The DePaul skaters, they've got to still be thinking about that goal that got waved off. They tell you you got to try to forget things whenever they happen, but that's just really tough.
You're spot on with that, G. It all started there with Slavin, though, picking up speed. He realized he had time and space, and Jerem's put on a nice little pick, I guess you could call it, and he rolled it down towards the end of the net, gave Slavin that lane, walked the defender, forehand, backhand, forehand again, and right through the 5-hole. His assist from one of the good buddies, Ray Myers. We're glad to see Myers back in action, too, after falling a little injured there for a second. He's back and good to go.
.325 remaining in the period here as DePaul looks to generate some offense. We've got a delayed call that looks like it's going to go against Brandenburg here as he was fighting down low with Manarino. So an empty net for the Blue Demons, and finally Indiana able to touch up. They're going to go shorthanded with 3:09 remaining in the second. Patrick Brandenburg will head to the box.
Not a critical time to take a penalty, but they keep playing the way they have tonight. They're 100% on the PK. I don't mean to jinx it either, but
Lee finds Helf. That one gets blocked out front. A rebound opportunity, squirts away, and Billis made a couple saves on it. Offenbach has numbers. Hawkins gets sent into the boards as he chased that one down, and then he delivered a hit in exchange. Leptic swoops over to the near side. He gets checked by Hawkins. Passion works his way in, goes to the backhand. The puck is still loose, and it goes behind the net. Billis has been tremendous going from post to post so far in this game. Leptic centers one that got knocked away. Passion was sitting back door. Now Lee has that one blocked by Offenbach. The Indiana blocked shots continuing to prove dividends today. They miss Passion on the near side, and Helf keeps the zone. 2 minutes remaining in the second frame. Indiana leads 2-0. And just as I say that, it's a power play goal for DePaul. It's Lee, and Chris Lee has cut the lead back down to 1.
now's the shift right here, right now. I like seeing McDonald out there hoping for a big, intense, fast, physical shift. That's what you need right now, because you know that DePaul is going to try to run it back down your throat.
So with 1:55 remaining in the period, DePaul able to get on the board for the first time today after 10 goals in last night's contest. Kissel takes a big hit as he goes to the ice. And now Castracani works his way in. Kissel has that one knocked away, and Brock Ash chases after it. Ash works his way in, shoots on Billis, and he's able to make the save. Sammy came out of the crease a little bit to challenge Brock Ash, and he won the battle. Castracani gets dumped at the other end, and this is going to be a penalty on DePaul. So Indiana going to the power play now. It's going to be on Plotke.
You love to see it a little bit too headstrong there off the first shift, as we thought we'd come out and see a big hit there throwing Kissel within 2 seconds of that puck dropping in center ice after the goal. And right there, a silly little play will put DePaul in the box for 2 minutes.
And Will Jeremy, we've touched on him a little bit earlier today. He comes into the game with a 12-game point streak, and in that series he's had 13 goals and 12 assists for a total of 25 points, and he picked up an apple yesterday to keep it going.
We'll see if this power play right here is the opportunity for him to extend that point streak.
Indiana on the power play here. 1 minute and 15 seconds remaining in the period. Jeremy shoots one, gets blocked away. Michelli was hanging out near the crease, but it squirts out. Centering pass. O'Flaherty is there, and it's covered by Grisbeck.
2 minutes for cross-checking at 1:22 in the second period of play.
DePaul has put up 16 shots this period compared to just 10 for Indiana, and the 16th able to bring them back to within one here. Hits have evened out a little bit. 8-7 in favor of the Hoosiers. Off the faceoff, they go into the corner.
1 minute remaining in the second period.
Hawkins sends one on that gets blocked out front by Michelli. Now the puck is still loose, and it goes into the chest of Grisbeck. Michelli took that one up high from a screamer off the stick of Hawkins. 49 seconds remaining.
Gee, another day and another day of great music, energy, and excitement down there in the score box. That guy, we've seen him jamming all weekend long. He's done a great job again, giving credit to him for his hard work.
Indiana wins the faceoff and holds the zone. Hawkins over to McDonald. He's looking for options. Tommy has that one blocked out front by Helf, and Hawkins keeps it in. That one blocked out front by O'Flaherty. Now a cross ice pass. They were looking for Jeremy, but Helf was able to get a stick in there. 27 seconds to go in the period. Indiana will be on the power play. Jeremy shoots one that goes right into the glove of Grisbeck, and we get a whistle. O'Flaherty getting tangled up with a couple guys down there. 19.9 seconds to go. Indiana has battled back in the faceoff category. They still trail. They've only won 9, and DePaul well over double figures, but they've cut into the deficit from what it was at the beginning. Castracani wins the draw. Gustafson got a quick shot off with 15 seconds, and Brandenburg will have to chase it down. 10 seconds to go. And it looks like Indiana is going to take it to the third here. 3, 2, and 1. So the Hoosiers give up a goal late, but we will go to period number 3. Indiana still with the lead. And Goose, throughout that period, we saw a couple chaotic sequences. The energy was high, and it's only going to make for an exciting third.
Yeah, we cannot wait. 20 minutes left, and 2-1 the score.
Goose will have the intermission report here in just a couple minutes, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You've been watching Indiana Hockey on the Indiana Hockey Broadcast Network.
I'm Andrew Gus, joining you back here live from Johnny's Ice House here for period intermission 2. Score so far now 2-1 through 40 minutes, 67% of the way through, and the shots there in period 2 were 14 for the Hoosiers and 16 for DePaul, although the Hoosiers did lead 9-8 in hits. So breaking down that period there, Luke Slavin, a great goal there, starting things off just after the power play expired. A questionable call there, as a puck got stuck between the legs of Sammy Billis, and that was blown dead. No goal to call, and just a few minutes later, a power play goal registered for DePaul. 2-1 the score, and 20 minutes left to go. So the Hoosiers are going to have to find a way to grind out every ounce of energy they've got. They played 5 out of their 6 periods for the weekend, and so far, so good for this game. We got 20 minutes left to kill. Hopefully we keep playing that good defense, make sure we kill off this penalty here, and hopefully by the end of this game, we'll have a Hoosier win. So 20 minutes left in the books here, and we'll see what brings about, but let's just make sure we get back on the right track for period 3 and close this out.
Hockey at Indiana University is brought to you by the following team sponsors: the Courson Fire and Security Group, Blue Blazers Events, and Top Flight Hockey. Well, 40 minutes are down and 20 minutes are up on the big board, or at least they will be eventually once this intermission clock runs out. Alongside Garrett Drake, I'm Sam Weixler, back for the third. Indiana leading 2-1 after a back and forth middle frame. Garrett, you were on the call for that. And Indiana looked like they got themselves back on the right foot after allowing several quick goals right after their first goal last night.
Yeah, they gave up another goal towards the end of the period, something that the Hoosiers have done a couple times this year. It would have been nice to see them up by 2 coming into the third frame, but you know they still got the lead, so they got to feel good about that.
Indiana dominated in the first and second. The hits were pretty even in the second, 9-7 in favor of DePaul. Although a physical frame back and forth where Indiana was on their heels and on the penalty kill for a large swath of the first 10 minutes there.
Yeah, they started off the period already on the penalty kill, and then as soon as that one ended, Kissel was serving the major. He came out of the box and committed a penalty himself, so he got to spend quite a bit of time in there, but Indiana came out from that unscathed.
Indiana wins the opening draw with 33 seconds left on the power play in the box. Still is Plotke. Here comes Hawkins, knocking it up into the air and nearly bouncing out of the glass. Puck vibrating across to the far side of the ice, and it's smacked down by the iron of Hawkins again. Indiana setting up Hawkins, tries to quarterback the offense and now hands it off to Jeremy, moving through the circle on the far side, past the scorer's table. Fresh legs out on the ice for the Demons. Jeremy, a quick shot right into the left leg of Grisbeck. And so another quick shot from Indiana. They're back on the horse.
He was able to get all the way through pretty effortlessly right there. Just ended up shooting it right into the chest of Grisbeck, but that's a good way to start the period for the Hoosiers.
Well, looking at the player spotlight for the Blue Demons, Billy Passion, leading the team in goals, was very effective last night. He was all over the sheet. Passion had 2 goals in that 10-5 winning effort last night. Indiana no longer on the power play. 19 minutes and change to go here in the game. 2-1 still the score in favor of the Hoosiers on the road. Little collision as Timmons ends up on his backside, and the puck wobbles across the center line. Retreating back to his own zone is Brest Penix, being harassed by Michelli, and it reverbs off the boards on the near side. Griffin Timmons, a very physical player, lost his stick and now picked up by Chambers. Fired along the boards, up into the air, over the glove of Michelli, and it swung away by the netminder Grisbeck. Went down to Anita and make that play. Gaining the zone, weaving through traffic. Another good shot up and into the protective netting. Clock comes to a stop at 18:25 in the third.
Nice block right there out front as that shot got deflected high up into the netting. And Wex, this has been a completely different Indiana team that we've seen so far today. They've been doing the little things right, and so far it's gotten them out to the lead.
So the face-off next to the glove side of Sammy Billis in the cage. Last night in a losing effort, he was pulled partially through the third period, and now another whistle comes. 18:18 on the clock. And it looks like Ethan DiLorenzo will get to have a 2-minute sit-down on the wrong side of the scorer's table. Garrett, we see Ethan DiLorenzo pleading his case. Always a friendly conversation, cracking some jokes in the midst of that. And he still isn't thrilled with the call, but he will sit down without a huge skirmish. So Indiana wins the draw in their own zone. Puck sits up on the windowsill, and it gets sent all the way down the sheet of ice, where Grisbeck moves into the trapezoid and behind the cage to stop it up for his team. Handed from Lee off to Maloney. Maloney has Offenbach in tow, and still Indiana on the forecheck, trying to make something happen and disrupt this set play by the Demons. 90 seconds left on this power play for the Blue Demons of DePaul. Then along the goal line on the near side, little dipsy-do, right in front, Leptic, second chance, Half shot goes over the bar. Now collected by Helf at the blue line, working the near side point to Lee. Thinks about a shot, harassed at the high slot and keeps moving over toward the point on the near side now. Left corner back to the left point. Lead little Hezzy Hay to the backside. Passion winds up, punched out of the air and into the glass where it gets stuck on top of the net. Sammy B, another good save after plenty of guys were over there screening him.
Already over a minute gone on this penalty. The Indiana Killers have been doing a great job so far today, just keeping the puck away from the net area. And they've been able to clear on several occasions as well.
Indiana out hitting DePaul 24-23. That's over the course of this game naturally. Still under a minute to go on this power play for DePaul. Right in front of the slot. And it's poked away. Manarino gets twisted around. Pass that he tried to feather over to Plotke is intercepted. And Plotke will go for a stroll through his own neighborhood before dumping it off for a teammate. Here's Brock Ash zooming through no man's land. Nearly gets tripped up. A quick toe drag, and he fires it onto the chest of Billis, who allows a small rebound, but then is able to freeze it. And exactly half a minute left on this power play for DePaul.
Brock Ash is another guy who you got to look out for if you're Indiana. He was held down a little bit in the game yesterday, but he's been pretty aggressive so far in this one, getting a few shots on.
One power play goal so far for the DePaul Blue Demons, their only goal this evening. Ash trying to receive the pass, but instead Timmons steps up and blocks the window. Manarino getting shoved from behind, a sharp angled shot that goes parallel to the goal line. Through the crease, Brock Ash, a big head fake. A hot shot high in front of the face mask of Billis. And again, he gloves it cleanly. And just 4 ticks left on this PP for the DePaul Blue Demons.
Nice glove snag right there, picked the spot perfectly, and nice frame job on the end. That's a strike.
16:22 to go here in period number 3 between Indiana and DePaul. Game 2 of this 2-game set against non-conference opponents. Puck ricochets oddly off the wall, and it's taken by O'Flaherty. He tries to scoop it back to himself, and it's knocked forward by Mansolini. Now over toward Theodosopoulos. His shot doesn't even reach the crease. Big collision. Slavin sends a man down hard. And Marcelletti gets tangled up with his own man, taken by Slavin. He's already got one. He gets dragged down and has his lid come up and hit him in the chin. Hit from behind, Passion holds onto it. Shovel shot by O'Flaherty. Second chance, Slavin jamming at it. And then gets met by 2 different black sweaters. Now 3 all charged down onto him. And finally, the referees have to step in. 15:44 to go in the 3rd frame. No longer a power play for DePaul. Indiana back to even strength. And Garrett, the special teams have improved over the course of this weekend, I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, both ends we've seen improvement early on, and you gotta love to see that, especially entering the home stretch of the season. They're hitting their stride.
Face-off corralled by Lee, and it's flung up along the center circle before being chipped high into the air by O'Flaherty, going for a change. Health picks up speed, piston crossovers, and then drills a hit. That was Chambers who got spun around. Fed back along the blue line. Semino watches it bounce over his tape, and then Hawkins pokes at it a little bit. Shot from the high slot. Ends up over at Michelle's stick in front of the scorer's table. He lunges and tries to yank it away again. To Health now in his own zone. 5 minutes or so have been played here in the 3rd. Indiana up by the slimmest of margins. Collected by Chambers, nearly got hit in a no-look situation as the puck gets stuck along the blue line. 2 or 3 different sets of skate blades were holding it down. Now along, Passion, a sharp angle shot off the cage. To Lee, muffin shot, ends up in the lap of Health. He tries to gather it and pull it down. Again, Indiana forcing DePaul to cede possession as Chambers delivers another big hit. Kept in by Newton, and then it's Hawkins who gets tabletopped, and a WWE move puts him on his backside. Here comes Ash to the backside. Good stop and a great save by Billis. A 5-alarm glove effort that keeps this score solid at 2-1. A save that you will see very rarely. He pulled it off and almost made it look graceful, Garrett.
Yeah, he went all in for that puck, diving on top of it, and even took the net off on his way over there. So he's dialed in right now, and he really wants this win.
Little stick tap on the leg from his buddy Griffin Timmons. Shots on goal right now, 4-3 in favor of DePaul. But in Indiana's defense, they were on the penalty kill for a goodly bit here. Castricani digs in and is able to tie his man up as the Indiana D-men play pitch and catch. Floated across the neutral zone and into the attacking third for Indiana, but they have their possession taken away and a whistle blown by the linesman on the near side. Indiana a little bit confused and not happy. And these referees have had a tough time trying to explain the situations to the coaches on both benches. Coach Dan Wood and Coach Weiss have both had their disgruntled moments, to say the least, Garrett.
Yeah, we've seen it on both sides today, unhappy with calls, but seems like they've tightened things up a little bit.
Solad sidesteps a hit, and it's redirected along the blue line to an Indiana stick. Over and back, Leptic knocks it back to himself, and a mishandling ends up with McDonald in possession. Everybody messing around at center ice. Plotkin thinks about a shot, backdoor. Couldn't get to the tape of Ash, who then pokes a man with his stick. Fed to the far side. McDonald sidesteps a tabletop hit. Thinks about a shot, second chance right in front. Kicked down by Grisbick, my goodness. Long three-line stretch pass over to Brock Ash. Swivels around, holds onto it, hands it off to Plotkin. He loses an edge and goes face first into the ice. Brandenburg then sends him face first into the glass, and all the Indiana Sweaters converge. Through traffic, gloved down by Billis, and a 9-iron floater all the way across where it rolls back toward Grisbick, who in turn redirects it to the corner. 12 3/4 of a minute to go. Indiana's lead still 2-1. Indiana trying to regroup as DePaul sets their play up. Presta knocks it to himself, gains the zone outside the circle. Shot paddled down by Billis, and then he sticks it away again. Circling around is Theodosopoulos. Tangles up a little bit. Sharp angle shot from the goal line. Presta gives a one-timer over toward Theodosopoulos and couldn't get it to go. Smacks off the boards behind the net, and through traffic, that shot off the stick of Brass Penix was handled by the leather of Billis yet again. Theodosopoulos watches it smack off of his shoulder, and it's played through the center circle. Goodfellow moves in, and Indiana on a little break. Here comes Michelli, splits the defense. A shot wobbles right into the leg. Jeremy second chance, another good kicker by the DePaul netminder Grisbeck.
Michelli just unable to get any air on that puck. Went right into the pad of Grisbeck. Looked like it might have been wobbling a little bit as well.
11 minutes and 39 seconds in the final frame of regulation. Shots on goal standing at 8-5 in favor of DePaul, but Indiana forcing their way back physically. They've got the hits tally 5-3.
Indiana's really battled back in the face-off dot as well. There was a discrepancy in favor of DePaul early on, but things have evened out.
Slavin takes the puck off the draw, but is dispossessed. As a little spin move, pirouette by Manarino. He nearly got the puck right back. Played along the window. Manarino cruises through the high slot and then swings the puck against the boards. O'Flaherty chips it up and pitchforks it all the way across. Rolling end over end like a tire, and the whistle is blown for icing with 11:11 to go here in the third.
That's got to be the first ice we've seen on Indiana all day. They haven't really had many opportunities to ice the puck on the penalty kill, as you mentioned, but that one got sent down just out of the reach of Slavin. Ended up finding the back boards.
Face off to the stick side of Billis. Indiana on their heels. And nearly 9 minutes played in the third. Timmons throws his edges into the ice and plays it forward along the boards. Near side, O'Flaherty gets squished. Now to Slavin. Gets spun around and tripped and nearly gets sent headfirst into the boards again. Indiana still has the puck though, and Sammy Billis goes to the bench. A delayed penalty for Indiana as they've got a 6-on-5 at the moment. 10:45 to go and the clock rolling here in the third. Puck bounces off the referee's skate. That could have been dangerous. Played forward to Slavin, gaining into no man's land and then forcing it into the corner, where that delayed penalty finally draws a whistle for a trip with 10:30 to go in the third.
It looked like Indiana struggled to get that extra skater out a little bit, and then Brandenburg had to come off quickly, so no real opportunity on the 6-on-5 there. But now they'll have a 5-on-4.
So DePaul will be down a man and serving a sentence over there once they put his number up on the board will be Lee. Chris Lee, the junior defenseman, had 2 goals last night, bringing his team total to 8. Jeremy finds himself behind the cage with some space. O'Flaherty, a quick shot. Hard wrister that gets slung all the way across, where Billis goes down onto both knees and claims it. Both teams have put a power play marker up onto the board. In this case, 1 apiece. Jeremy moves around the circle, gains some space, and now slides it to Hawkins, a shot. Deflection into the corner now, and Leptic lets the puck roll into center ice. Still a power play for Indiana, a 5-on-4 for the next 69 seconds. Wall pass to Michelli on the far side. Dot-to-dot pass, stopped. Good, McDonald, a one-timer. A second chance for McDonald, and a good kick save by a defenseman. Castracani charging into the corner, pulls it away. McDonald one-timer redirected under the legs of Grisbeck, and frozen with 9:21 in the third and 52 seconds on this power play for Indiana.
Man, a couple key opportunities for Tommy on that one. The first one, it looked like he just missed the puck and then lost track of where it was. The second got deflected on its way and ended up going right in between the legs of Grisbeck.
Shots on goal even, 8 apiece now. Indiana wins the draw. DiLorenzo finds some space, now gives it Brandenburg along the blue line. Gustafson turns tail on the circumference of the circle. From the hashes to the trapezoid. Centering pass gets cleared out and all the way down. Billis steps up onto his blades and sets it on the table for Brandenburg to collect. Here comes DiLorenzo carrying the mail through his own zone. D-circle pass, and again Indiana retreating. One thing that DePaul has been known for this year at least is how aggressive they are on the penalty kill. Trying to move away from their own zone and play the puck forward. Now to DiLorenzo near side. Holds it, shot, punched into the air and off the glass. Rimming around and knocked forward by Newton. Played through the circle to Billy Passion on the near side. He gets dragged down by DiLorenzo, no call, play continues. Even strength now as Gustafson has a run. One-man show bouncing across the blue line. Over and back, nearly called. Billy Passion with some space, a slap draw that goes into the corner and redirects in front of the Indiana bench. Gustafson jamming at it. Now O'Flaherty skating by himself. Only red sweater on the ice as Indiana was in the middle of a change. 8 minutes to go in the third. Indiana still with a 1-goal lead, 2-1. To say this is a carbon copy game of last night, Garrett, would be an outright lie. Last night, 10-5, and this one is a pitcher's duel in every sense. And we might even see Sammy Billis have a complete game. A quick shot over the bar. Billis didn't have to make a save. Along the boards on the near side. Whisked away. Kicker deals it over toward McDonald. He zigzags, little stick handling, and flips his hips again. Another good dangle. This time he gets drilled in the back and is able to keep possession and give it to Kicker, who swats at it, and it's played back to the black sweaters. That's Brass Penix. Little dangle, being harassed by Castracani, who digs in. Brass Penix stays on the puck, dishes to Theodosopoulos, 2-on-1, to the backside, lunging and can't keep it on his tape was Health. 7 minutes or so to go here in the third. 1-goal lead, wraparound attempt. Billis has a man fly over his shoulders, and the puck is stopped again with 7 minutes even. Finally, the arms and legs being separated. And a bit of a frenetic and frantic situation to draw the whistle. So after this weekend's games, it will be Cincinnati in 2 weeks on the 2nd and 3rd of December. 1 home and 1 away. Pass to the backside. Passion couldn't get that one-timer timed correctly. Floats up into the air. Kicker using his body to win the puck back. Swinging at it is Chambers. Now played to the backside in the slot. Billis a glove save. Floats over toward Lee, and now the cage comes off as Hawkins is not thrilled with the situation that happened behind the play away from the puck. Garrett, did you see what happened behind the play?
I did not. It looked like Hawkins got shoved into the net from behind, potentially. That could be what he's complaining about, but looking ahead as well, Wex, after the Cincinnati games, Indiana's going to take on Ohio. And the Ohio Bobcats were able to get a win against Miami yesterday as well.
Well, according to our statistician and our pregame, postgame host, standing directly behind us, Andrew Gus, the referees have decided that DePaul pushed the cage off its moorings, and that's why the faceoff came through the center. Here's Chambers with some space. A shot paddled aside into the corner by Grisbeck. Errant pass ends up being collected by Lee, and Simino going to chase him down. Pushing him into the corner and spinning him around, swirling around, was the body of Lee. Toward Passion, working the dot on the near side in his own zone. Helft. Steele blades it to himself. And now laid forward to Manarino. He goes onto one leg like a flamingo. Now to Helft, trying to turn the corner. Can't outflank Hawkins. Under 6 to play here in the third. Indiana with a 1-goal lead. Hawkins getting pushed around. Continues on with it. And will slide through before avoiding a big check. Right in front, poked away, Offenbach jams at it, and somehow another good save by Grisbeck. Goodness gracious, Garrett. We said pitcher's duel, and we meant it.
And not only that, bodies are flying around the ice here in these final few minutes. Things are really going to start to heat up. Indiana clinging to a 1-goal lead. Wow. These are the type of games you love.
Absolutely. Shots on goal through 14 minutes or so. 11-10 in favor of Indiana. They're back in the driver's seat. Face-off taking place on the far side of the sheet in the DePaul defensive zone. Slavin gains it and then gains a face full of fist. Brass Penix. Little back and forth and then playing it all the way across to Brock Ash. 2-on-2 rush. Ash handoff to Newton. Poked away from him, and now Griffin Timmons with some space. To the near side, cruising into the high slot. And then through the half-dashers on the far side. Slavin gets pinned up and stood up. Ash tries to redirect the puck, and it's collected by Brandenburg on the near side. Indiana gets a change. Kept in the zone by Jeremy, but it bounces off his leg and back over to Ash. Ash thinks about it. A good glove save by Billis, high over his head, right along the edge of the crossbar. 5:03 to go in the third.
You get the sense that everybody on this Indiana team is in the zone right now. They're desperately trying to avoid a sweep. Coming all this way for 2 road games, you got to win one of them. And so far, things are looking good.
Puck gets ricocheted into the corner and back to the point. Clear to the blue line, and Indiana now has a chance to move the momentum the opposite direction. Kicker moves, a good shot that gets handled cleanly by Grisbeck, and then rolling end over end all the way down. Goodfellow lays chase and finally forces his man to hold up and slow down. Picked off by DiLorenzo. If he can get going, he might have some space. Thinks about it, toe drag, shot right into the chest of Grisbeck. Another great save. And this is an absolutely furious effort by both netminders. One after the other. A save at opposite ends that is an absolute sparkler.
A great move by DiLorenzo to drag around the defender. He had the net to shoot at, but it went right into Grisbeck.
4:25 to go in the third period of regulation. And still this 1-goal margin being handled by Indiana. Off the draw, Jeremy smacks it away toward a teammate, and that shot ends up spinning out of the zone. Indiana gets a change. DePaul tries to fire a pass all the way down the sheet. That was Brass Penix who had a little sonk. He then weaves around two different red sweaters and plays it back toward himself off the wall. Hawkins collects it and slings it around the corner. Chambers lunging, and that shot by Plotke doesn't find the mark. Under 4 to play. Hawkins a give and go. Gets spun halfway around and then decides to cut back for the D. Toward Health, gains the zone, shot, and it was a good glove save by Billis, and then Roy Myers got punched onto the ice and took exception to that situation. Garrett, I don't think the physicality in this game has left.
And now it looks like Myers is going to end up going to the box. He took a slash right to the knees of the player that laid the hit on him. And Wex, we talked about it, just hurting themselves, things that can't happen when there's 3:45 left and you're only up 1.
Does that count as an irresponsible penalty to be taking?
No question.
This season, in his 4th game played, that'll be his first chance to sit in the box. And now he and his teammates are having a little discussion as to what occurred as well. So DePaul, who already has scored 1 goal, their only goal on a power play, will now have a chance with an extra skater again. Played to the near side behind the cage. Passion dumps it back into the trapezoid. Working away, Billis handles it with his stick. Brandenburg forces it back into the trapezoid and to the far side in front of the Indiana bench. Lee working that blue line, trying to cycle it away. Now through traffic, jammed at one-timer, and Billis kicks the puck and the post away, all in one motion with his leg. 1:36 to go on this penalty for Ray Myers sitting in the box, or standing up now trying to fix his cage. 3:21 to go on the clock, and the big board still a crooked number for Indiana and a single tally for the Blue Demons. Draw on the far side, won by Indiana after a struggle, and Chambers is able to poke check it all the way across to the netminder, Grisbeck. Offenbach, Michelli, Timmons, and Brandenburg, the killers onto the ice. Fed in front, now to Leptic on the backside of the play. Timmons sticks his leg out and blocks the shot. Roulette wheeling back toward Maloney. In the corner, Passion spins around and thinks about a little Michigan action. One-timer chance by Lee to the backside. Another good save by Billis. Are you kidding me, Garrett?
Wow. Health gloved the puck down to himself and just immediately whacked it on net. Billis scooped it up off his chest with the quick reaction time. We've seen that several times here today. Cat-like reflexes from number 30 over there.
Garrett, you and I had our suspicions proven absolutely correct last night that the two types of athletes that are best at reaction time and activities of that sort, like ping pong or tennis, are goalies and race car drivers. And Billis has the fastest reflexes we've ever had to play against. We both got dusted last night, admittedly.
Yeah, it was not even close. The home field advantage was serious, and I'm curious to see if DePaul gets down the ice here, if they opt to pull the goalie while they're still on the man advantage. That could potentially put them up on a 6-on-4 if they elect to go that route and they take a timeout here.
So a timeout to the DePaul Blue Demons called by the head coach, Dan Wood, and we will take a break as well. 2:34 to go in this third period. Indiana up by 1 and 49 seconds still to kill off for Indiana to try and get back to 5-a-side. Garrett Drake and Sam Weixler. This is the Indiana Hockey Broadcast Network. Don't go anywhere. 3/4 of a minute still to kill off for Indiana. They're on their heels, and the face-off to the right-hand side of Sammy Billis eventually wobbles and vibrates all the way across the center ice logo. Now to the near side, Helf gains the zone and then gets stood up. Poking it free is Semino. He blows a tire, still on his ice, edges. Helf, empty net, Semino scores! A 6-on-4 situation, and Indiana scores a shorthanded empty net goal with 2:14 to go. A 2-goal lead now up onto the big board for Indiana. And you dare say that this game is iced, Garrett, because this has been a frenetic back and forth and sometimes staccato action with all these whistles. I don't think it's fair to say this one's quite over yet.
No question. You can't say that until it's over, but I did think that Dan Wood was going to elect to pull the goalie. I just didn't think it would be with 30 seconds still remaining on the power play. I thought maybe it'd be once they got down to 10, but Semino got a breakaway and put it home.
So Grisbeck still in between the pipes. This time he has to move out of it and slide to gather the puck. Under 120 seconds to go. Power play still in order for the Demons. One last rush with an extra skater. Played into the backside. Newton reached out and couldn't keep it onto his tape. Sent all the way across, and the penalty will expire. Ray Myers quickly moves from the penalty box to the bench. Offenbach can't win the puck back. Manarino gains the zone for the Demons. He gets absolutely drilled and stays onto his edges. Puck rolling back and forth in the corner. Hawkins contemplates his options and now gives it to Michelli, who thrusts it all the way across for an icing. With 1:23 to go here in the third, and a 2-goal lead now for the Hoosiers. Garrett, talk about flipping the script on the second day of a 2-game series that we have not seen Indiana do all season up to this point. And usually it's the Saturday and Sunday scaries that have gotten these guys.
And Indiana really hasn't been in this scenario a whole lot when they're up by a goal late in the game and they're able to put away the empty netter, which just shows that they've practiced these situations and now they get to put it into fruition, if you will.
Indiana has been working on penalty kill and power plays ad nauseum in practice. Another empty net situation. Semino trying to chase the puck down. Plotke slides in, and it will be an icing with 1:14 to go here in the third.
Here we go.
Shots on goal. DePaul has stepped back out in front. It's 16-13, and Indiana now out hitting them 8-6 in this frame. Indiana averaging over 40 shots on goal per game, so not an unexpected number that we've seen. Empty net again for DePaul. 68 seconds to go here in this contest. To the backside, one-timer. Billis able to make a save without even seeing it. Under a minute to play. Bank pass off the corner of the boards. Ash moves to the slot. A good kick save by Billis. Passion winds up and sends it just over the bar. Bouncing up over to Lee. He gets smushed against the glass, and Michelli pulls it to himself in space. Firing for the empty net, and just misses off the back of the boards. He was crossed the half line, however, so icing is waved off. Semino trying to forecheck this puck back. Offenbach has it by himself, shoots, he scores! Adam Offenbach, his first goal of the season as a senior, makes it 4-1, and Indiana has iced this game on Saturday evening at the Johnny's Ice House of Chicago.
And you love to see it for number 21 in red right there. Getting number 1 on the year. And you got to think that's only going to build confidence for him and the rest of the group moving forward. You could see just how excited the bench was to see that puck go in.
He's off the schneid, and Indiana has a field goal lead in the waning moments of this game. Back in the net, here comes Slavin. He moves in, shoots, and it's pushed away. A weird ricochet off the bar, and Castracani moves in, gets smacked in the head. Chambers swings and drives just over the bar. A dozen seconds to go. Slavin gathers it and pushes it to himself. Chambers feeding right in front. Wraparound attempt, no good. And that's how this game will come to a close. After barely holding on to the 1-goal lead, 2-1, Indiana by the skin of their teeth. gets out of this barn with some pushing and shoving after the whistle again. Now we have Castricani going fisticuffs with Plotkin. They're absolutely throwing. Those are some major league haymakers that were being driven into the face masks of Plotkin and Castricani after the whistle. Garrett, the physicality is not going to be done when the buzzer sounds. But nonetheless, Indiana puts a tally in the win column on Saturday night in Chicago. And we've still got fingers stuck in face masks as the handshake line takes place at center ice. Garrett, if these two have to see each other at Nationals, it is bad blood and in buckets of it.
Wow.
Final shots on goal in that hectic third period. 17-16 for DePaul. Hits Indiana 9, DePaul 7. And Indiana doubled up DePaul on the dot. 14 wins on the draw to just 7. Garrett, I'm out of breath, and I think I need a long night's sleep before driving back home.
We just saw Indiana with a very impressive win. Unfortunately, you don't like the way it ended with the play with Castricani happening at the end, just getting jumped by a couple of the DePaul players, but hopefully they can just go home happy with the win and move on.
Well, we will have our buddy Goose behind us get ready for the post-game show. But for now, alongside Garrett Drake, our head of tech, Ben Stannard, I'm Sam Weixler on the call, saying so long, good night. Thank you all for tuning in to the Indiana Hockey Broadcast Network. Final score 4-1. The Hoosiers put a tally in the win column.